A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away. Hello, listeners of For Light and Dice. It is Chris, and we're doing, if you've been listening to the episode so far, we're doing a special episode where essentially Lysander and Koreal are stuck in a vision. And so, for that reason, I only have two players for this recording session. Uh, we did this before in season one. It was very effective, splitting up the party. So, let's get metaphysical with splitting up the party a little bit. So I'm Chris. My pronouns are he, him, and I am the GM of this game. So that means my gender is for the characters I play are all of them because I'm playing everybody else. And that's it for me. Colton, what about you?
Yes, hi, I am Colton, as previously stated. I play Koreal. We both go by any/all, and we're both a little bit of a mess right now. It's great. We're good. It's fine.
Well, it's fine because nothing bad happens in Star Wars.
No,
Jess, what about
no.
you?
Yeah. I'm Jess. My pronouns are they, them. I play Lysander, whose pronouns are he, him. And yeah, everything's gonna be fine. Definitely not in danger.
You're definitely not in danger. Well, unfortunately, you are in danger as we kick off the session. The artifact that you were provided by Obsidian seemed to have done something to you all. And during the course of the previous session, you all eventually ended up in a strange realm that resembles a very large cave where there is mud all over the floor. The earth quakes and moves and shakes a little bit beneath your feet. You can hear the sounds of distant explosions and screaming, echoing deep in the caves. Orcus is with you, Koreal and Lysander, though he appears to you in his much younger form. He's only about 3 feet tall. His arms barely go down to his waist, and his legs are super short, just for mechanics purposes. And I'm sorry for our international listeners. I know we have a few, but I only know feet. I'm American, so we're going to use feet as our measurement of distance. But he can only move max of 15 feet per round.
That's 1 meter height and 5 meters in movement. For
Amazing, Colton.
Any international listener.
Colton.
Oh my
Approximate.
god.
It's approximate.
Approximate.
He's tiny
Yeah.
now.
But he is tiny. He's very tiny.
Small.
Yeah, so with that said, Orcus is in a mad panic. He is looking around, and in his now child voice, he just screams, we have to get out of here! We're in trouble! We're in a lot of trouble!
Do you know the way out of here?
No!
I imagine Koreal bends
Oh.
down and brings his neck down. So just all the way, just so maintaining eye level.
Wait, how tall is
Um,
Koreal?
Yeah, that's a good question.
7.5, 8
Oh
feet-ish.
my
Holy shit, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, Uriel
It's
Poof
the
is
neck,
tall,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's the neck. Because Lysander's only 5'7". With his boots on, he's maybe 5'9".
Maybe,
Because
okay.
he wears heels.
Of course he does.
Iconic.
Yeah, no, so Orcus just says, oh, I don't know where, and he just starts breathing really, really hard.
Okay, Marcus?
Calm down.
Yes.
Just deep breaths. We're gonna find a way out.
This is just a vision. We are not actually here.
This isn't a vision. We're back.
No, it's a vision. Because I was not here. Which means
Yeah.
it is a vision.
This has to be a vision. You two passed out, and I was trying to figure out what was wrong, but I guess I must have passed out too, so this must be some kind of strange force vision, although I've never experienced one where other people are also here with me.
I did, but it was less of a vision and more of a trip. But yes, Orcus, you are fine. Your body is probably fine.
I am imagining that poor Wynne and Gauze and Zero are freaking out because they were already freaking out when you two had passed out, and I was supposed to try and figure out what was wrong.
Well, tell them to wake us up.
I wish I knew how.
Well, Orcus points at you, Koreal. Aren't you the Jedi? How do we get out of this?
This is outside of my area of expertise a little bit. But I believe whatever the Force will want to show us, we will see, and then we will exit the vision, and we will be fine.
One of you take a D6 and roll it, and give me the number.
I can,
All right.
Okay.
unless you want to. My
You
dice don't
can do
always. Okay, yeah.
We'll see where this goes.
That's a 2.
Oh, oh great.
I'm sure that's fine. A 2 never hurt anybody.
Yeah. So before I describe what happens next, even though you have some mud on you, can you kind of redescribe what your character looks like? You wore whatever you were wearing when you passed out onto the squonk or the one end. So what would your characters be wearing right now?
Both of us.
Yeah.
Koreal is wearing his I think I described it as in the BTS episode as Jedi cosplay, where it gives off the vibe of a Jedi robe without being, Jedi IP. It's legally distinct robe patterns. So that way, I, other than when I previously lied, I can say people think I'm a Jedi, which is helpful. So it's just a black robe that's fairly undistinctive, and then I have a bit of essentially a fanny pack built into the robe, but not as noticeable as a fanny pack.
All right. What about you, Lysander?
Yeah, Lysander is wearing what I describe as his season 2 outfit, which it's still kind of like that off-white turtleneck that he has, but instead of wearing his little cape now, he has a maroon kind of blazer, and then he still has gray pants and more belt kind of straps on his legs, and black boots.
All right. So you hear footsteps coming out of one of the 6 caves that are nearby, and you can see an extremely well-dressed man with black short hair, slightly parted in the middle almost. He has very strong jawbone line, and even though his outfit is covered in mud and blood, looks about as nice and elegant as Lysander's. He is breathing very hard and is just kind of running up into your area without kind of noticing you right away. He looks up and stops and just almost slides in the mud, and he tilts his head and just says, "Oh, bother."
Axel Greylark! Chris, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Have I met Axel Greylark? I don't think I have.
If you haven't started any of the adult phase 2 books, then you have not met Axel.
Oh yeah, then
I. But funny enough, I've joked to Charles before, where I said Lysander's definitely the type of person who would have had posters and or pictures of people that he thought was attractive, even if they're from hundreds of years ago, and Axel Greylark is one of them.
Well, if you want to make that canon, that's totally fine.
Yeah, I'd like to believe that Lysander would immediately recognize Axel Greylark.
Indeed, and Axel Greylark was a particularly controversial figure in the galactic tabloids 100 years ago or so. So, yeah, so he kind of smirks a little bit, and you notice that a lot of the blood on his clothing is coming from him. He's kind of holding his midsection chest area a little bit with one arm, and he just very slowly backs away, and he just says, "Look, I don't want any trouble."
Neither do we. We're
Lysander's just kind of surprised Pikachu face because he's so shocked right now, and he kind of pinches himself like, "Is this really happening?" He's like, "Wait, ooh, you're Axel Greylark.
What?
That's impossible."
What do you mean it's impossible?
You? How old are you?
That's a very rude question.
No, this is impossible. You. And he looks at Koreal just like, that man would have been long dead by now.
Greylark, is it? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's the son of a former Chancellor of the Republic.
Oh,
Over 100 years ago.
okay. Mr. Greylark, we appear to be in some sort of force vision.
Wait, he's hurt, right?
He does look hurt, yeah.
Okay, Lysander, noticing that he's bleeding, is just like, hold on, are you injured?
Yes, quite, and I'm in the middle of something. I really need to go.
I'd like to try and heal him, Chris. So Lysander
okay.
has some healing.
How do you
powers.
heal?
I have a few things I could use. I could use my one force ability, give life. Wait, is this if they're about to die? No, this can, yeah. But that
Yeah.
means I'd use some of my own life.
That's true.
It's okay, I'm fine.
Do
Lysander.
you have to touch him?
Yes.
Okay. So as you move towards him, he takes a few steps back. He's like, "Oh no. That won't be necessary. You Jedi really need to leave."
I'm not a Jedi, and
Neither am I.
you're
Oh,
bleeding, so
but then who the criff are you?
just travelers.
Yes. My name is Koreal Vivana. This is Orcus. Say hi, Orcus.
We really need to get out of here. Why are you talking to this human?
Because we're getting information.
He
And this
dresses
is
like
Lysander.
him. Good points at
Yeah,
Orcus points at Lysander.
I'm Lysander Alberic. If you don't mind, I'm gonna put my hand on you. Not in a weird way. I just
of the Averic of Lysander.
yes, actually.
Oh, I've heard of your family.
I forgot that people know about my family.
Koreal just gives Lysander a shit-eating grin.
Shut up. Anyway, he's like, if you don't mind, I'm gonna put my hand on you, okay?
Oh, I wouldn't do that here. If you're going to do what I think you're going to do, as evidenced by the one holding the. He points at the lightsaber. Who? That, yes. He points at. I guess Koreal, you still have it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he points
can't
over at
actually
Koreal's
use it.
lightsaber. So
Don't-
what?
don't tell
don't
people
seem
that.
to understand.
It doesn't matter, but you're injured, so
Indeed, but as he's attempting to further speak, you start hearing footsteps coming from the other side. A lot of them, and within seconds, you see a group of people, all of them covered in mud, dressed in like very simple looking clothing, except they all have makeshift vibroblades and spears, and their faces are covered with 3 blue lines that go across their face.
Who are they?
Oh, I've captured them. They're here, the Jedi, right here. If you want to arrest them or whatever it is that you do.
Point of order, not a Jedi.
Yeah, no one here is a Jedi.
They definitely are.
No, I'm just dressed like one.
Wait, how many people are there?
Looking over, you see about 4 of them who. It's as if they've been dealing with Axel for a while. They just kind of roll their eyes a little bit when he's talking to them. But then examining you all a little bit more, they start to step forward, and one of them, a human that is heavily scarred in his face, kind of steps forward and just says, "Wait, you're not one of us?"
We are, but we're also not really here. So
What?
just ignore us. Just ignore us. Everything will be good. Don't need to worry about us. We're just here to look around, get the view, see what's happening. Just ignore us. Don't need to worry about us.
Axel mutters near you and just says, "And they think I'm bloody chaotic."
We're not here. Why did I say that accent? Hold on. We are not here. We're in a spaceship.
So the four men holding weapons just shake their heads and just says, "Surrender your weapons."
Lysander kind of pats himself down, like, am I even holding any weapons right now?
That's up to you. If you had like a gun holstered to yourself, you would still have it.
Oh man, that means he still has his wrist blaster then.
Yeah.
I pull out a derringer from one of my sleeves. This and this, and I pull my gun. That was the blaster that was holstered on my hip.
Okay.
But these guys, they were chasing after Axel, right?
You're not. Actually, make an insight roll.
Okay. Wait, what dice do I want to use? Let's use the Lysander dice Hope gave me. Okay. Insight? 14.
So they came out of a different cave than Axel, and it looks more like they were running away from something rather than chasing after anybody. So you don't think that they were necessarily chasing Axel. On the other hand, Axel is definitely trying to betray you to get away from them.
They're all like standing close together.
Right? Yeah, they're bunched up. Yeah.
How far away are we from them?
I would say they got about 20 feet away from you.
I'm gonna try something.
You're gonna try what?
I'm gonna try a thing. I'm gonna cast Break. They are holding weapons, right?
Yeah. 2 of them are holding vibroblades. The other 2 are holding spears.
I'm gonna cast Break on one of the maybe one of the spears that one of them is holding.
Okay. How does that work?
So it's like you inflict 10 force damage to an object you can see within range that is not being... Oh, wait. They're carrying it. What else is nearby, actually?
There's a lot...
The ceiling.
There are rocks.
The ceiling?
There are large rocks,
Wait.
small rocks. There's stalactites hanging from the ceiling.
That's true. Okay, then I'm gonna cast it on the stalactites right above them.
Okay. Is it automatic?
Yes, and they have to make dexterity saving throw.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The stalactite rolls a 1 on its dex save, so that's minus 4, so it fails. Definitely. So 10 points of damage. That's
Oh.
gonna. Can you, Jess? Can you make a percentile roll? Do you remember how to do that?
Which dice is that again?
That's 2 10-sided dice, and you're gonna assign 1 as the 10th digit,
Okay.
whatever it's called. I'm not a
Yeah.
math person.
Tens.
grab
You're
those.
close.
These ones are pretty. I'll use these. Wait, so how do I read these again? Would this be... I forgot how to read percentile die.
So the one with 2 digits, that represents the 10th digit.
Mm-hmm.
So what did you roll for that one?
That
Was it
one says 10.
Okay, so that's 10. So, and what about the other die number?
It was a 2.
So 12. You got a 12 on a percentile roll. So when you break the stalactite above, a bit more of the cave ceiling goes with it. And the 4 men who seem prepared to attack you, and I was going to ask you to roll initiative, have to roll dexterity saving throws anyway. Lysander, you have to make a 66 roll for damage.
Okay. 66?
Yeah, 6 six-sided die. Add that
Yeah.
total number together. Oh my god.
Let me grab 6 of them. Oh boy. Okay. Math isn't my friend off the top of my head. I got a 19.
The cave ceiling crushes all 4 of the men. You hear a brief sound of groaning from one of them, and there's dust and debris everywhere, and it seems that the cave had crushed them. Axel says, "Well, that's a bit of a you are. I knew it. You are Jedi."
We're not Jedi.
Yes. Just because we can use the Force does not mean we are Jedi.
Yeah.
Well, these people aren't going to see the difference.
Oh, well.
What is happening?
There's a bloody battle above. Can't you hear it?
Oh, neat.
What? Neat?
Yeah, I cannot stress enough how much we are not here.
Oh, let me assure you, you are most certainly here. I am seeing you right now, right in front of me.
This doesn't make any sense because, yeah, you're seeing us and we're seeing you, but you died a long time ago.
I'm not dead yet.
That's what's confusing. And the last I knew, we were on our ship.
Oh, you have a ship?
Not here with us. We woke up randomly in this cave system.
Well, you've woken up in the worst possible place in the galaxy right now.
Fascinating.
What planet is this?
This is Dalna. You really hit your head hard or something.
Would Lysander have read about this at any point in his life?
You may make a history roll or a lore roll, depending what your character
Can I
does.
as well?
Of course.
Yep.
Okay, history. Which
That's
one is
7.
that from? Wait, trick.
What did you say, Koreal? 7? Okay, yeah, you unfortunately haven't heard of it.
Lore. Mine's would be 16.
Yes, Lysander, you have heard of the Night of Sorrow, which is also known as the Battle of Dalna. It was known as a devastating battle where a lot of people, especially Jedi, died and became a very infamous event. Group of cultists apparently encouraged the wrath of the Republic, the Jedi Order, and several other parties, and it turned into essentially what is scientifically described as a giant clusterfuck. It is essentially an event where the most Jedi died in an era where people thought that the Jedi could not be killed.
So far.
Shh, quiet. Oh, Criff. This is the Night of Sorrows.
The what?
Yeah, the what?
And then Lysander basically conveys everything Chris just said. Because I'm not repeating all that.
Orcus shakes his head up and down a lot and just says, "Exactly, and that's why we have to go right now."
How are we gonna get out of here?
And suddenly Orcus just takes off into one of the caves.
Oh,
Orcus!
okay. Hold. So he's only moving 15 feet per round. With my 30 feet of movement, I'm just gonna go and pick him up.
Okay, can you make an athletics check to pick him up?
Yeah. With my -1 to athletics. -1 to athletics, that's a 0.
So you reach up to pick him up, and despite the fact he's only 45 pounds, it is like the heaviest object you've ever felt, and he just slips out of your hands and keeps running.
Good job. And Lysander again looks at Axel, is like, hold on. Again, can I put my hand on you and heal you? Your bleeding is bothering me.
No, but that will put me in more danger than you know, so goodbye.
Wait!
Meanwhile, in a different game session entirely. Right.
Yes! We should focus on the reason I'm not seeing Dune 2. Hello, everyone.
You can do it right after recording.
We're not having this conversation.
We're having this conversation because, ladies and gentlemen, we're discussing right now the fact that Charles hasn't seen Dune Part 2 yet.
I'm leaving. Listen, I already got drunk once with Colton about this. Hi, everyone. Welcome to a brand new episode of For Light and Dice, because Chris is being Chris, right?
I'm being weird, yeah. It's Friday night. It's a long week. I'm being chaotic, and
we've all had a long week.
We've all had a long week, but we're
doing
a
dangerous trio to get in the room together.
It's true.
Because the genesis of this, in fact, podcast was the three of us doing those High Republic episodes.
That's true.
That is true.
Gold Squadron.
That is true.
Yeah, this is like the OG
so
team.
Terrible things happen when we're in the room together, like this session that you're undoubtedly about to listen to.
Yeah, so hi everybody. Thank you for joining another session of For Light and Dice. As you all know, some things have gone down and the group is splitting up. So we're doing these episodes where small portions of the group are together. Some of it voluntary, some of it not. We'll talk about that later. Anyway,
some of us just bounced.
Right? Hope, would you like to formally introduce yourself?
You know what? No, because Charles always goes last. Charles, would you like to go first for once?
I'm going clockwise on my monitor with the virtual machine.
Hi, my name is Charles. My pronouns are he, him. I play Wynne, the Duros pilot, whose pronouns are he, they.
Hope?
Hi, I'm Hope. My pronouns are she, her. I play... Gaz. Her pronouns are also she, her, and she is the Gazo mom friend operative who is really tired because I had the realization we've been playing the hyperspace disaster since November, and for context, it is April, guys.
It's been a very long day for our
very
heroes.
Long day.
So, for some of our younger viewers, there used to be this show on the air called 24.
Oh, yeah.
I knew Chris was going to immediately get where this is going. The second I said, there used to be a show on the air called 24.
Yeah, and you're like, how did they get all that shit done in 24 hours? And it's impossible because anyway.
When did you go to the restroom? When did you eat dinner? At what point did you wolf down a protein bar, guys? When did this happen? Did this happen off screen in commercial breaks?
So thank y'all for joining me. I'm very excited. as I want to say very often, I feel like I say this most episodes. I don't know quite what's going to happen, and I'm excited about that, especially since Gaz and Wynne, you last talked to Leox, who is telling you he needs y'all to come to where he is, wherever he is. Though Wynne may provide some color on that front. To pick up his spice shipment so his whoever he is with doesn't know that he has it.
And for context, we are, I believe, aware that there are Jedi aboard the ship, but the characters are not aware of which Jedi are aboard the ship.
That's correct.
I think that's right, yeah. That sounds
correct.
about right. And we have Gonk with us as well.
And you do have Gonk with you. You've taken the one in. Lysander has passed out.
We just fucked off and left the three Force users unconscious on the floor.
Zero. We're like, good job. Here you go, Zero. Here's my data pad that will tell you how to cook everything. Don't look at the history.
Zero's like the oldest sibling that we're just like, well, we got to go to the store for milk. So you just stay here with your unconscious crewmates and we will be back shortly.
And then we're gone for like 5 hours.
Yeah. And
Listen, the parents had to go get their smokes.
Both of them, which is how you know it's serious.
I know.
Yeah, so you are on the one end. When the trip is rather short, how are you going to get there?
With the
Flying the ship.
Yeah, but like, are you gonna kick it into hyperspace? Or are you just gonna take it on?
How long are we at sublight, and how long are we at hyperspace?
And also, is hyperspace even working right now? Because we are aware that hyperspace lanes are closed.
We can use the path engine to bypass those.
Yeah.
You don't have the path engine on the one end, do you?
We don't.
No, we don't. So we do have to decide whether or not to risk it. How long is it at sublight?
We'll make a pilot check before we jump into anything else.
11.
Yeah, no, it's a 9-hour trip.
Round trip or one way?
One way.
That's for sublight?
Mm-hmm.
You know, that sounds nice, right?
You know what? We could just say that Zero was left with instructions on taking care of the organics and just
Gaz would have left her data pad and then like, this is where the food is, everything is labeled, this is where all this, do not look at the history tab, this is where they are in the chiller, you're gonna be okay, you got this, sweetie, we gotta go get milk.
So
come on, girl.
How long is a short rest, Chris?
It's 1 hour.
Oh, thank God.
1 hour. I do believe. So a long rest is 8 hours, yes?
That's right.
So if it's a 9-hour hyperspace trip, then theoretically, or not 9-hour sublight trip, I've never used this before, but Wynne has a trait called running on fumes, where they only have to sleep for 3 hours.
Oh.
To get the benefits of a long rest instead of 6. Apparently it's 6 in this system.
Oh, I see.
So, in that 9 hours, Gaz and Wynne could have long rested, which would reset their stuff and give Gaz back her HP.
How did I lose my HP, Wynne?
We don't need to get into that.
Okay.
And still have plenty of time to make sure everything is... They could even trade off, because if Gaz needs...
Gaz knows how to fly.
Gaz needs 6, Wynne needs 3.
Mm-hmm.
That would put them pretty close to the Amaxine Station if they traded off.
With like a little, like what, about an hour-ish to spare?
Yeah.
So. If they slowed up.
Work.
Okay. I love rules.
I'm going to... So we're healed then, right?
Yeah, so that's a magical quirk of this this particular tabletop role-playing edition. All your ailments, all your sickness, all your limbs falling off get instantly restored once you long rest.
Hold on.
Of course, for story purposes, it doesn't work out that way for many Star Wars characters.
I feel like we're gonna roll out of the 1 in 2000 after long resting with like sunglasses and coffee and roll up 5 minutes late. And everybody else who spent the last 18 hours doing whatever they were doing in the other session is gonna be all haggard and exhausted. That's my mental image.
Well, there was something that Gaz wanted to ask Wynne about before we got to the Amaxine Station.
Okay.
Yes, I figured, my thought was that they could do the long resting and then slow up, and that would give them time to have a quick meal before they got, like, right before they got there. So they could be at 100% when they get to the Amaxine Station.
Roger
So
that.
we can pick up with them. GM, if you're cool with everything we just said.
I am cool with everything you just said.
I have a question for Wynne, because she would know this by now, traveling with them. Does Wynne like spicy foods?
Wynne is fine with spicy foods.
Like super spicy or just like
not
flavor?
super spicy because they're Duros constitution, and also it'll mess with their like the glands.
Yeah.
And you don't want to. The crew has already smelled what it's like when Wynne's glands get messed with.
I'll be right back. Hold on.
The glands are too much.
The glands are too powerful.
No,
The glands are too powerful.
Chase,
We're still recording.
I know. Hi, everybody. So Chris is
Hi,
gonna
everybody.
hear this. Now you
We're
get to
gonna
hear.
have a conversation. Well, I was gonna say we're gonna have a conversation about Star Wars Resistance, but Chris is deliberately saving that for watching for the first time on Dark Side Divas in 100 years.
Listen, I just
So-
I just want.
Oh, Chris is back.
Sorry about that.
okay.
Eric's trying to do stuff in the kitchen. He was making too much noise. Anyway, what
So,
were we talking about?
the glands were too much, and we
The
traced you
glands
off.
were too much.
We did.
Oh my.
We made
Wynne
sure
is-
it was entertaining while you were gone.
We talked mad shit about you.
We did so
What
much
else is new?
shit. Yeah, so much. So, in that case, Gaz comes into the cockpit and she has 2 bowls, each with a lid on top of it and like utensils kind of like stuck to the sides of it, and balanced in one hand. And in her other hand, she has like 2 cups balanced on top of each other. Each one has like a little lid on it. So she just comes in and holds out the bowls towards Wynne. The top one's yours.
Oh, thank you. Wynne takes it, and on the screen, Gaz can see what looks like a spherical space station, like a ball that's kind of got rings around. I think that's what this looks like. Hold on, let me pull it up so I can.
I'm so well prepared. You're right. It
It
does.
has,
I was gonna
It
say
is a ball
the
with
amount-
rings. You are
It is.
correct.
So it is for the benefit of players who haven't consumed the High Republic. It is, or for listeners that haven't, and also players who are listening back to this.
What are you
It
talking
is
about? Kylo Ren went there first.
Yeah, he did.
Which is that's correct. It is like a ball, what's on the monitor is a ball, and it has several rings around it. So rings at the top and bottom, and then rings on the side. And it looks like that's the readouts that Wynne is looking at.
Tour lights. Does not. I was about to say a thing, but I was like, no, it does not look like Sputnik. It's Friday night. Let's go. So after Wynne takes the top one, she then sets the 2 cups stacked on top of each other in front of them on the dash. The bottom one has coffee. The top one has water. You have to get through the top one before you get to the bottom one. You dehydrated dummy. Okay?
Wynne makes a show of reaching for the top thing of water and beginning to drink, and after they've taken several gulps, they set it down in front of them. We should be at the station in a bit. We don't know too much about it, but it's a waypoint for Vine Guild transporters.
All right.
Not really on any official systems because it's not really an official thing. This particular part of space is used for runs that are, let's call them, not particularly safe.
Have you done these runs before?
Unfortunately, yes. Irvin was quite a fan of them. We didn't realize at the time why. We just assumed he was kind of an asshole, which he was. But everyone was kind of forced into these runs if you wanted to make any headway with debt that you had with the Bind Guild. Or your indenture if you were indentured.
Yep. I know that. Just takes the lid off. Her food is clearly way spicier than... It's like a different color than Wynne's. It's like way spicier. It is like orange. And you can probably smell it. It's so spicy.
As Gauze lifts the lid up, Wynne's entire nose seems to retreat into their face.
Yeah, theirs is fine. Like, theirs is nice and mild, but like hers is like orange. Oh, I'm gonna roll. I have proficiency in cooking. I want to see how well I did because I'm tired.
Okay, you can do that.
Yeah, proficiency means advantage, right?
DMs, don't you love it when the players...
your cooking bonus should be automatically added, and it should be what is the base stat for cooking?
It doesn't have it. It just says feature text.
Oh, you just cook.
Oh. Well.
Yeah.
Well, I rolled a 17.
Well, I mean, technically, survival is a skill I make players roll when they want to cook something when they camp.
Oh, well, then it's a 17 plus 2, a 19.
Oh, yeah.
So she has made a particular Dury's dish. It is a flat noodle dish that has like a soy ginger sauce. It does have a little bit of heat to Wynne's, a shit ton of heat to hers. And it has like a garlic grilled tipia mixed into it as well. It's very homey. It's very warm. It's very like comfort. It's a very comfort dish. So
I'm going to make a personal roll to decide something.
But it's very specifically a Dury's dish.
Wynne does, as Wynne realizes what this is in front of them, they kind of perk up a little bit and kind of lean over and then look to Gauze and back and go, I haven't seen this since I left Corellia. And they immediately just take the biggest bite of this. Like that you could possibly fit in your mouth without choking and just start chewing. And they nod and say, it tastes like I remember it.
Oh, she just smiles at that. Well, I hope it's good, because I learned it from two little Dury's wives on Coruscant, so. They had this little hole-in-the-wall place, and they'd been there for like 70 years, and it was right down the street, like 2 levels up from where I lived in the retail company housing, so like I went there all the time, and sometimes I would pull shifts there for free food, and they taught me some stuff.
You know, we have a very refined cuisine palette that no one appreciates because it's so simple. But
right?
It works.
It's all about clean foods.
It works because it's so on the go, I think, because so many of us wind up in labor positions or starship crews or as soldiers that our food reflects that.
Yeah, I like it because, well, I love a noodle. I've never met a noodle I don't like. It doesn't matter if it's in like tomato paste or a cream noodle or even something savory like this. I just like noodles. And it's... I picked up all sorts of recipes. Like the cabbage stew I made a few weeks ago for Koreal. That was from my Neimoidian neighbors. They taught me that. And it was cheap as hell too. It fed all 4 of us for like 15 credits.
How many places have you been?
Like living or?
Like generally.
And so
not counting the ones that we've obviously been to because I was there for that. Except for the junk planet.
Were you? Were you though? Are you really there?
Wynne waves a hand in the air. Takes another bite of noodle.
Honestly, before I met all y'all, I just had been to 3 planets. That was Dragor, Coruscant, and Alderaan. But I went all over Coruscant for a year because people forget it's an entire planet that's a city with thousands of levels. So when I left Ritello, I hid out on a lot of those 1,000 levels for a while before I left and had the money to meet all of y'all.
On the ass end of the galaxy, which is impressive given how far from the core we were.
I was shooting for home and I came up short, so.
Wynne takes another bite of noodle and taps at a monitor as they... I'm assuming, Chris, that they don't yet visually see the Amaxine Station.
No.
So, what do I need to know about your friends Leox and Geode? What are they like?
They're decent sorts. Leox's been with the guild for a while. Geode's very steadfast, but both of them, they're very independently minded people. Leox kind of does things his own way, but he's so good at doing things his own way, he just kind of gets away with that. Geode's a bit of a flirt.
Yeah, is he nice or is he kind of skeezy? Is he like a spleen? Is he a spleen? Does he like see like desperate ladies and like he's a spleen?
No. The thing you gotta understand about Ventians is they can't actually, when sort of motions with their hands in front of them in vague gestures, with anybody that's not a Ventian. Any flirting he does is just for fun.
She reaches out and takes Wynne's shoulder and looks at them and says, "That sounds like a challenge." I'm kidding. He was just...
No, he just does it for fun. Geode's the steadiest member of the vessel crew. Not sure what to make of Affy Hollow. She's Scover Bine's foster daughter.
Yeah, she is.
She was put with Leox and Geode, and frankly, I didn't have much interaction with her. Above my pay grade. I didn't even captain a ship. I was just the navigator and then the pilot for the Spiegel.
Got it. But Geode, though.
Sorry?
But Geode, though. I'm sorry. Never mind. No, never mind. I'm sorry.
Well, you can flirt with him as much as you want. Just don't expect anything to come of that. He would love being flirted with.
I know. And honestly, we're probably going to be in there and out there so fast, aren't we?
If everything goes to plan, for example, there aren't any Nihil on the station, or the Jedi don't find us, or there aren't, I don't know, just...
Actually, I checked our horoscope. It was weird. It was weirdly specific. It said, that's why actually I didn't make us a salad, because our horoscope said, look out for leafy greens. It was weird.
That's a bizarrely specific horoscope.
Right? So I just didn't make us a salad. Because you never know, but I know, she just kind of scrubs at her face. Okay, Geode is nice, he's just being nice. She looks a little frustrated.
You can trust Leox and Geode. They're good sorts.
It's not that. It's stupid. And it's selfish. And it's petty. I'm just tired of being jealous of Lysander.
For the...
At that point, Gonk stops and goes, "Gonk?"
Hi, Gonk. Pats Gonk's head.
We can get you a cape.
He's getting kind of ripped off. Not by much. He's very close. He's getting about a 5% discount.
He could do at least 8.
He could. Or 12. But...
depending on the shopkeeper, he could do 2. We'll work on it with him.
Oh, I know how to thrift. I can thrift. And I know how to mend. So if you ever need your socks mended, I know how to mend a sock.
Wynne takes another drink of water and says, yeah, I know you weren't talking about capes.
That's all right.
It's the Tinder dates thing, isn't space Tinder dates thing, isn't it?
Have you have you ever had someone say something to you and it just sort of like buries like a seed inside of your chest and it becomes a part of you and it's just this like horrible thing, and every time you think about it, it has these just kind of vines that grow out of your soul and slowly strangle you?
Wynne thinks about that briefly and then shakes their head. I've had people say things to me, but nothing that rooted that deep.
Teach me how to do that.
Don't get close to anyone after you leave your family for college.
Oh. How long have you been alone?
I wouldn't say alone. Like, there have been other people around, just when leans back and readjusts in their pilot's chair. Ever since, I had to leave the university at Barleth, it's been one thing after another, just trying to make ends meet. And when you don't stay in one place for too long and you don't speak to too many people on that level and you're not good at emotion communicating, people become more, you just bounce from group to group. I guess that is the trade-off. No one can really get to you like that, but nothing good can take root either. Wynne shrugs. I didn't mean to make that all about me.
No, I asked when
you were saying something.
I asked, and you deserve good roots.
Well, the Squonk Crew is the closest I've got for a while, and I've always made a point to protect my crews as best I can, even if before this point we were mostly just co-workers. Never did get that pilots union off the ground.
Well, how do we get a pilots union off the ground?
Well, we need more than one pilot to start.
Well, you are training Lysander. We have 2 pilots
now.
Yes,
so we'll have 2 pilots.
And I flew the one in for 3 whole hours, and nothing happened other than one in letting me listen to some Core World hair bands. Sorry again for waking you up, but I made sure to turn it down. But come on, man. It's Pistols and Tulips. They're like the greatest hair metal band ever from the Core World.
Firstly, I can't understand anything that any of those people were saying. And those didn't even sound like musical notes half of the time.
What about John Bovey?
But secondly, when raises a finger, you seemed like you had something you wanted to say. And it is easy to distract oneself from things they don't want to say.
It's stupid, and we have so many more important things to talk about. Like, what are we going to do when we get there?
I find, too, that the things you dismiss as stupid are often the things that will need to be said the most.
I think you need to drink more water.
Wynne does drink more water.
Thank you.
I'm not trying to tell you that if there's things you want to talk about or there's something you want to address that you have to do it right now. It's not our purpose. We're constantly in the middle of a mission. I'm just saying be careful not to let these things take any more root than they already are.
It's already been strangling me for years. I don't know how to get out of this thicket patch anymore. Okay, I'm gonna say something, and it's gonna make me sound like I'm a fucking 12-year-old. Okay?
Okay.
I haven't really had a friend since I left home. So it's nice to have a friend. And I want you to drink more water because you're my friend.
Wynne
You
drinks more water.
dehydrated dummy.
Wynne is about 2/3 of the way done with their glass of water.
Good.
I can't really say I've had one either. And certainly, I don't know what to make of Koreal, and I like Lysander and Zero well enough, but both of them, there's a degree of distance between their experience and my experience that sometimes comes up.
What do you mean?
Well, Lysander's still seeing the galaxy. They're discovering things that I was discovering at that age. You know, I'm nearly 50.
Oh, you look good.
It's 30-ish in Duro's years.
I know it's 30. I had a Duros roommate.
Thank you, I moisturize.
I know, you look great.
But they're discovering things that I already discovered, some of them the hard way.
So
Zero didn't remember anything.
So what that means, like, there's just a wall suddenly because you just know everything?
No. My point is that some of the other members of the crew and I are at different points in our lives. And it's nice to be able to talk to somebody about things.
Yeah, I get that.
Waves a hand in front of us. See, this is the emotion thing that I'm bad at.
Yeah, I know. And that's the thing. I'm not bad at it. And I think it's important that with both of us having these experiences to help teach them, to make sure they don't get hurt. And if you have trouble with the emotion thing, I could do the emotion thing.
You already have been, and I appreciate it a lot. I worry a lot of the time about particularly Zero and Lysander, because both of them, Zero for their amnesia and Lysander just generally, they seem like the types that if someone wasn't keeping an eye on them and some nefarious actor got in, they could
like a whale?
Like a whale or an evil starship or any number of things. I have my concerns that one or both of them is going to be manipulated into something, and they're going to realize a little too late what they were manipulated into.
Yeah. But also, when Lysander's an adult, he has to make his own choices too.
Full adult.
He is, and he has to be allowed to make his choices too, and we just have to be present, and if things are going to go wrong and things are going to happen, and he probably will get hurt in some way, so in that case we just have to be there to make sure to bring him back.
When consumes the rest of their water and reaches for the calf.
It's definitely
Man.
made the way that Wynne likes it, because she's taken notes.
Man, I do not enjoy being an adult.
Right?
This was a mistake.
I mean, we're in it now. We had the chance to break up, like, as a group multiple times. Why are you still staying?
Well, I mean, it is what I said back on Lysander. I really have nowhere else to go, but I'm starting to like this feeling of belonging to a group of people. Wynne pauses and looks over. Why are you staying? Not that I think you wouldn't, I'm just curious myself.
Because I'm a coward. Because I'm running. Because I'm scared to go home. This goes back to what I was saying about being the whole stupid 12-year-old. Oh my god, you're my friend. Ugh. I'm terrified of any of you knowing about me. But especially you. Because I was everything that you gripe about the Republic that you hate. And I don't want to lose my friend when I just got one for like the first time in like 9 years.
Wynne's just kind of listening.
She does not go on.
Don't, when they finally speak, they say, don't mistake my dislike of a system for dislike of people that have to or choose to participate in it. I don't think every single person in the galaxy has to be an anti-corporate, anti-capitalist revolutionary at all times to be a good person. Or even to be a decent person.
I'm not a good person.
Are you trying to be one?
Sort of.
Then that's good enough for me.
Oh, she looks really touched by that. Like her little antenna go back a little bit, like, oh, she eats her food a little bit more. And then she looks like, kind of thinks about that for a moment, and then looks a little bit more determined. You probably want to know why I call her Lady Vine.
It's a bit of an interesting turn of phrase.
I don't know Scover. I've met Scover. I've been in a room a handful of times with her. And the most I ever said to her was, "Yes, thank you for coming, Lady Vine. Please let me know if I can serve you any more drinks." And I walked off. It's the most I ever talked to her. But I do know her because she was an ally of Ritello. Her and the Bind Guild, specifically my boss. My boss was her closest ally, and they did a lot of business together. Scover wasn't my normal clientele. She was more in the business sector. I worked with more political clients. And that didn't mean that I didn't help occasionally with the entertainment guests or the business guests or the guild guests, but I usually just worked with lobbyists and senators, and that was my clientele. So when I was saying on Lysander I wanted to make a call, I was talking about one of them. I had a few senators and one chancellor aide in mind that I could have possibly called to get us some info about what was happening. She purses her lips a little bit like, that was hard.
Wynne just nods in acknowledgement. I can't imagine that dealing with senators and chancellor's aides is particularly fun.
Depends. Like, Norel Quo was really sweet. He's really nice. He's very shy because of his unpigmented skin, and it makes him look different from his species. So he's shy. But he was always nice, but it was always a hell of a night. He never liked when Norrell came around because he never liked Lena being in his business. So usually when Quo came around, it was just like, just keep him over there. And I was like, yes, sir. And so I just talked to Norrell all night and kept him distracted to keep the Chancellor out of our business. So,
When motions with a hand, yeah, all of that business between Scoverbine and Retailo, that was several layers above me. We moved their cargo sometimes. I think we had it on the Spiegel occasionally, but it was just cargo by the time it made it all the way down to us.
Did you ever check the cargo?
Wasn't my area. My area was ship get from point A to point B. Irvin discouraged looking in the cargo we were transporting. It wasn't people, so far as I'm aware.
Okay. Because I've definitely been in the room when they traded people. Because Retailo's lowest earners would often go to the Buying Guild for money.
Scoverbine's indentures.
Oh, and Retailo is a corporation. Oh. I hate it here.
See what I mean when I say the system bad? People participating in it, not usually, but man, the system is criffed at all times.
Did you hear about 4-ish years ago that one senator who cheated on her wife, and it was like this big kerfuffle?
Did I hear about this, Chris, the GM, who I swear hasn't said anything for 40 minutes?
I'm sure there have been many scandals like that, so it's a matter of which one.
I'm gonna do the thing Hope did earlier, and I'm gonna roll myself to see if I am going to roll my own lore check to see if I remember.
Let me give you it was
Give me a DC.
Huh?
Give me a DC.
10.
10.
10. When nods, they do remember this.
And their kid was on TV crying because his mommies were breaking up.
Oh yeah, it's not often they parade the kid out. But that time they did. I remember that.
Do you want to know who got the information to sell it to the highest bidder to wreck her political career?
Is that person willing to divulge that information?
That person might have made you dinner tonight.
Wynne's response is to take another bite of the dinner.
You can tell Gonk looks confused and looks over at the charging station and looks back at you all and just shrugs.
Gaz also takes an extra big bite of her food. But she looks very resolved, but ashamed, but also resolved. It's something that's happened, and it's not like she can fix it now.
After Wynne has finished chewing their food, they take another drink from their calf. I appreciate you sharing some of this. I know that it's not easy to confront even just speaking about it. Things that you're trying to get away from. I mean, look how long it took running into Irvin on Naboo for me to tell anyone about what happened with the Buying Guild. He was on the brig. He was being taken to the brig of the... Oh, I can't remember. Chris, did we learn the name of the ship he was being taken to the brig of on Naboo? I'm pretty sure.
Can you make a lore roll?
That is 16.
Yeah, you kind of realize that procedurally, he would be on the legacy run.
B was sort of taken to the bridge of the brig of the
Are you okay?
the ship that he would have been with at the time, which, based on information we know, would have been the Legacy Run.
She starts to sit back, and then she stops, and she just like leans over and just puts her hand on Wynne's arm and just looks at them. I also don't get to punch him in the throat.
I mean, he would have had it coming.
I know.
I didn't hate him. You know, he was putting people in danger, of course, and he was an asshole, but if he didn't survive that, which statistically it's likely he didn't, then
I don't get to punch him in the throat.
No one gets to punch him in the throat. We'll find someone else. When
you hate other people.
When taps on the we'll find some people. We'll
Good.
find some people.
Good.
We'll find some people. We'll locate some Nihil and shoot them.
Oh, I'm just waiting for Orcus to not be useful anymore. I can't wait.
We will have to determine what to do with him. He's not staying.
No. Good. I can't. I can't.
No, I don't trust him in the slide. I trust that everything, well, not everything. I trust that a lot of what he's saying may be rooted in some things that are true, but there are large parts of the story he is not telling us.
Yeah.
It's a shame we can't just call the Jedi, have them come pick him up.
Why not? Like, we're going to go see Jedi on this station.
Well, we don't want to let the Jedi know that we're on the station.
Really? Why? Just say, like, hey,
because of the illegal spice, we're going to take off the station.
Well, no, we can just show up and just be like, hey, we're friends of Leox's. We were in the area, just wanted to make sure everyone's okay. Because hyperspace did just break. And then that way, if they find us, like, we don't even have to, like...
Well, we don't even know what Jedi are on the ship, so we'll just put a pin in, potentially... The Jedi are in charge of the local, in charge, Wynne makes quotation marks with their fingers, in charge of the local governance on Jeddah. And so, put a pin in that. For now, the plan is there are airlocks in the lower levels of the station. We're going to dock on one of them, which you can dock in without the main docking bays knowing about it, and rendezvous with Leox and Geo to take the several crates of definitely legal and definitely medicinal spice aboard.
It's not say medicinal.
It's definitely medicinal.
Definitely.
Definitely medicinal. Now, if everything goes according to plan, it'll be in, out. We'll barely even have to get off the ship.
Well, since everything probably won't go according to plan, I just want you to know that I made sure to pack some flares for Sasha, and I have some ration bars in case something happens, and I also brought up the first aid kit, and there's some Kolto stems in it, and I have some Kolto stems on me. You should probably take some with you as well, in case one of us get hurt, and we can heal each other.
I have Blaster. Also,
Okay.
Journal.
Okay, well, you're gonna put 2 in your pocket before we get off the ship, because if
I'm
I
gonna
get
put
my
2
ass
in my pocket before I
if
get
I
in the
get
ship.
my ass handed to me, you need to be able to stick me with a Kolto stem so I don't, die.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
And when we'll take 2 of the Kolto packs, which I can add to my inventory.
I kind of in my brain, they're sort of like the ones in like Jedi Fallen Order that Cal Kestis uses. kind of like a little.
Do
like,
we have
like
item stats for Kolto?
I made this up.
You just made this.
You have basically the equivalent of like a nice seltzer water. No, unfortunately, those types of that type of technology does not exist in the High Republic.
Hey, I said I could. I asked you specific permission if I could write it in Gaz's journal, and you said yes.
Did I? I don't remember that.
Yes, that's the only reason I'm talking about it right now.
Kolto does, because Manon's pissed off about Bacta.
Okay.
And they
Right.
think that
They're
in
more like
light of the
packs.
Jedi, that the disaster's being caused by people who are mad about Bacta. So there's healing stuff that exists. It's not as good as Bacta.
Yeah, so we'll say did we have stats for it?
No, there's
Then
nothing.
they would be 1d4 plus 1 is how much you get back.
I was thinking the same thing. Perfect.
One.
We just
I'm gonna
made
just
shit up on the fly.
Fuck
Good.
yeah, plus
Guys, get yourself the DM who's cool with this shit.
In my brain, they function like the Cal Kestis, like BD1, give me something, buddy.
Aw.
I've never played.
I don't think Gonk
anything.
is going to be quite as agile as BD1 though.
We put like little like battery packs on him. So yeah. So put these in your pocket. Bye.
Wynne does that. Are they coming up on the station, Chris? Nearly.
Oh yeah,
50 minutes?
you're starting to get close.
That was nearly 50 minutes where Chris did not speak.
I like those games. Well, everybody, that is the episode for this week. It's a little bit of something different. I hope y'all certainly enjoyed it. It was fun to edit, and so we'll pick up on these two different groups next time. And yeah, I can't wait to share with you all what happens next. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to our podcast. We're pretty much on every major podcast platform. Subscribe, leave a review. Tell your friends about us. We would really love for our audience to grow, which it has been for past couple weeks. So really appreciate that, y'all. That your support means everything to us. And yeah, this has been such a cool project. We just, by the way, celebrated May the 4th. And so seeing all the Star Wars celebration, all the different listeners shouting this out has been really heartwarming. So thank you for that. Most of the music of the show is composed by Grushkov. Again, they create a lot of really amazing music inspired by the High Republic and other things, so definitely check them out. Their music's available pretty much on every streaming platform, YouTube, and you can purchase their music outright. And if you do want to hang out with us between episodes, you can go to our social media account on X, Twitter, whatever it's called, under the @ForLightAndDice handle. And on our profile, there's a link that has access to our Discord. Our Discord is free, available to anybody who's a fan of the show. Our best listeners and the entire cast is in there, so definitely check that out if you want to hang out with us. Once again, thank you very much, and as always, may the Force be with you.